Don't drink that coffee! The shout echoed through the glossy marble lobby of Wentworth and Company, freezing everyone in place. Heads turned toward the man in the faded blue coveralls, his mop still dripping suds on the polished floor. Ethan Carter, janitor, single dad, and invisible to most of the corporate world, stood with his chest heaving. He just yelled at the CEO. Across the room, Claire Wentworth, impeccably dressed, her hand inches from her porcelain cup, paused mid-sip. The boardroom table was stacked with reports, phones, and steaming mugs, but all eyes were on the janitor who had just crossed the line no one dared approach. Security shifted uncomfortably. A few managers smirked, already tasting the drama. Claire raised an eyebrow. "Excuse me?" she asked, her voice calm but cutting. Ethan swallowed hard. His daughter's hospital bills, the extra night shifts, the weight of everything pressed against his chest. But he had seen it. Just 5 minutes ago, when he was emptying trash in the break room. The junior intern, nervous and pale, stirring something into that cup. Something that wasn't sugar. "Ma'am," Ethan said, his voice cracking, "there's something in that coffee. You can't drink it." The silence grew heavy. Claire set the cup down slowly, eyes narrowing. "Explain." Murmurs rippled. A janitor accusing someone in the company of, what, poisoning? Sabotage? It was absurd. But Claire had built her empire on instinct, and right now her gut told her this man wasn't lying. Ethan's hands shook as he described what he saw, the intern, the vial, the quick glance over the shoulder. He had debated whether to stay quiet. After all, janitors weren't supposed to meddle. But then he remembered his daughter, 8 years old, who once told him, "Daddy, heroes don't stay quiet when it matters." Claire turned to the stunned intern. "Is this true?" The boy's lips trembled. His eyes darted toward the executives at the table, then to the floor. Finally, he collapsed into his chair, sobbing. "They made me do it," he whispered. The room erupted. "Made you? Who?" And then it came out. The dark secret. A faction of senior managers had been plotting to push Claire out, to tarnish her leadership with a carefully staged accident. The intern, desperate for a job and terrified of losing it, had been coerced. Ethan stood frozen as the confession unfolded. He hadn't just saved someone from a bad cup of coffee. He had saved a company. Claire dismissed the room, her voice sharp with authority. But when the doors finally closed, she turned to Ethan. For the first time, she really saw him, not as the man with the mop, but as the man who had risked everything by speaking up. "You know," she said softly, "most people wouldn't have cared enough to say anything. You just changed everything." Ethan's throat tightened. He thought of his daughter waiting at home, coloring by the kitchen table, unaware of how close her dad had come to being fired. Or worse. Claire reached for her phone. "Tell me your name again?" "Ethan. Ethan Carter." She gave a rare smile. "Well, Ethan Carter, I think we need to talk about your future here."